What's going on YouTube? Let me keep here representing the movement towards improvement for one of the final few times. I want to give my sincerest thanks to everyone who has shown me so much support since I started posting videos here back in January, and also to everyone who's shown me support since I started making cameos on MTI back in 2010. Gabe was riding his scooter to Woods Valley and I was there in the morning in the freezing cold helping him out making videos, and I've received so much support and so many words of encouragement since then that I can't even count, and I greatly appreciate all of it. So to all those same people, I want to invite you guys to join me for my new channel, Formula Golf. Formula Golf is really similar to MTI, where the underlying message is improvement in your game and also in your life. So I will still be continuing with course vlogs with friends. I have many tournament rounds that I can play in. I will be filming, and also I will be filming interviews with fellow pros and tips and instruction. But one thing that I'm going to be offering on my new channel that simply isn't very available to most golfers, myself included, is a new way to compete. And through that, I want to create a community of golfers who all are thriving to be the best players that they can be through competition. So I want you all to come check out Formula Golf, where we're going to be restructuring the very DNA of how we play, practice, and most importantly, compete. Keep an eye out, everybody. It will be launched after the ending of this Provo series on MTI. Until then, the movement is always in motion, and remember to keep on grinding. What's going on YouTube? Blamer keeping here representing the movement towards improvement. I am out here. I made it to Utah at Provo. I'm at the East Bay golf course right now, and obviously the altitude change is a lot different than back in San Diego, so I'm working on that right now, about to start my practice round. So what you do to work on altitude is just, if you have a laser rangefinder, just laser the targets out there. For instance, the one I'm looking at right now is 165, which is normally like a stock 8-iron for me. Right now I'm hitting a 9-iron to it, so I can pretty accurately gauge that it's plus 10 on basically all around. So that's a good way to work on altitude changes, and we'll be filming during this round. So yeah, my 9-iron is going to be going right around 165, depending on downwind and whether it's out of the rough. When you're in altitude up here, you get a lot less spin on the ball. So when you're out of the rough, you get a lot more jumpers. Like 2 years ago when I last played in this tournament, I was hitting an 8-iron from like 210 yards sometimes, you know. So it's just one of those things, if you guys ever end up traveling to like Colorado or play anywhere where you're up in a mountain or something like that, keep that in mind. The same thing with your chip shots too. When you're chipping around greens, they don't really get that immediate zip that you want. So expect a lot of dead knuckleballs coming out. Alright, so this hole is playing a lot into the wind today, so I'm going to hit a 2-iron. In years past, I've always hit a 4-iron and had a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, so I'm going to hit the 2-iron today, and I'll probably hit another 4-iron after, depending, and see like the yardage difference and see if it's even worth it. Absolutely ripped that one. So it was 269 to the 150 pole, so we'll find out where it is now. Alright, so I hit my 2-iron off the tee, and I totally ripped it, and I hit it 269. I'm right here by the 150 pole. But then I hit a 4-iron and hit that also well, and I ended up hitting even closer to the 150 pole. So I think tomorrow I'm just gonna stick with a 4-iron off this tee. It's a really narrow hole. Right now, if I see what I got into this pin, yeah, I only have 138 yards in this hole. It's a 418-yard par 4. You know, 4-iron pitching wedge is not a bad way to start. I just hit that like 5 feet away. It swung soft. The pitching wedge, I think, will full out here will go right around 150. I'd say 150 to 155. I was 138 there, but I'm into the wind, so it's just a 3/4 pitching wedge. All right, walking up on this par 4 here. Hit my first shot to, about 5 feet or so. My next shot that I hit, which was virtually the same yardage, I just wanted to swing full just to make sure I know where, like, the difference between a 3/4 and a full shot would be. And then the other side of this ridge here, and we're 35, 40 feet long. So this course protects itself by having really undulated greens, and they put a lot of pins in some really tough shots. Like, you'll see during the tournament that this pin might be literally just on the ridge or just over that ridge there. So it's crucial to get your yardages down to each ridge. So right now, I'm going, this green here is kind of sloped. It goes from, goes uphill, and it goes back down and then back up again. So it's a giant 2-tier green. So I'm gonna pace off my yards my paces to the beginning of the slope here. Alright, so I have 13 paces on this for this first slope. So if you look right here on the yardage book, I don't have a pen right now. I'm gonna get it. I left it in the car. So I'll put 13, from front to this first ridge. So this will basically be, 1/2 of the green, and then the next half, with the pins in the back, I will completely eliminate the front of this green and start my yardage based off on where this pin is. So the green depth is 35. It says on the sheet. So I know I have 22 more paces from right here to the back of the green. So if the pin's in the back and it says plus 30 or something, I will be able to subtract that from 13 here, so I know exactly where I want to go to get it on the correct side of the ridge. A good way to always make sure your yardages are on point in tournament golf. Hey, good way to start. All right, you guys just got done playing the back 9 for my practice round. Did a lot of charting on the width of greens, which is something I haven't necessarily done in years past. So that way I'll know exactly, how much room I have to the right when the pin sheet says, 15 on, 5 from the right. I'll know if 25 yards to the left of that to kind of play safe. Right here is a 527-yard par 5. This is hole 1. There's water out there, and I've been lasering it. It's 291 to carry if I aimed it at the 150 stake out there. I should be able to carry it, but obviously if I necked one or something, I might not be able to make that carry. But out here, I should feel really good about aiming at that pole or to this little tree just to the right of the pole and hitting a cut. So that's what I'm going to try to do right now. This will be a good way to start on a nice par 5 with a good drive. So I bailed out on that one. I pushed it right, but I mean, I should still only have like a 8-iron in or something. But I'm gonna hit another one, just be more aggressive.
Okay, when you were talking, it was all just crotch, just so you know.
Just what?
It was just crotch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So here is where my bailout ended up. As you can see in the left, I was aiming at the 150 pole, but on that line I need to carry it 291 to carry the water. And that 150 pole is probably 360 off the tee maybe, which is very doable out here, but I think subconsciously I just felt like I needed to bail out on it. But it's not too bad. I push it out here right, there's nothing but grass, and now I have 182 in to this par 5, a 527-yard par 5, so should just be actually an 8-iron. It's going to be a little downwind. I'm in the rough, so it should jump a little bit, so I'm going to hit an 8-iron. This green slopes drastically from back to front, so a lot of times you have to land it short and then release it back. They firm up these greens out here to protect the golf course, otherwise you just go really low. It's 5 par 5s, the course isn't very long. So I would always usually take a club less and then have it like bounce up forward, but in this case I think it's the perfect club, and at worst I'll be just long chipping back up the hill.
I hit that one perfect. I just aimed a little left. Kind of started a little bit left of the hole and just kind of stayed there. But I should have a 20-foot eagle putt. All right, so I'm walking up to this par 5 here. To give you an example, I was 187. Like I said, I hit an 8-iron. I bet you my divot's going to be pretty close to pin high. In fact, here's my divot right here. So I landed this about I want to say 11 feet from the hole. If you can look at the hole here and look at how far it ended up releasing. I know it was out of the rough, but it does that even on the fairways in a lot of shots. See, it never spins back. You can expect at least 10 feet past your land spot. So you got to play for that when you play in the yardage. So, but now I have a nice uphill putt. It's pretty crucial when this pin, if they have it here in the tournament, they had it here 2 years ago when I played. If you leave it short over here, you're not getting up and down. It's just not going to happen. So take the longer play, focus to try to get it up to chip it up the hill or putt it uphill, and you may make some birdies. Yeah, so I got about a 35, 40 footer here, uphill. It's going to break a lot left to right. Hit it on my line. Might have hit it too firm. Yeah, a little too firm. I'm gonna leave myself a 5.5 foot downhill putt here. Okay, go ahead. Screens are really fast, especially downhill, but they roll really true. So you just gotta pick a line, commit to it, and stroke it. All right. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of me preparing for this tournament. I know it was only just a couple of holes, but we had some people behind us all day, kind of hurried us along. So we're going to be filming some shots during this tournament. Gonna have some live action for you. Not going to be any talking about or anything like that, but I'll have a caption explaining, you know, what my score is, my yardage, and all that good stuff. So, anyways, guys, remember to stay in motion, keep on grinding.
Oh, I didn't know how we got washed away. To worry, there was nothing I would change. We met the guy